Hello, 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 everyone. Come on into the webinar. My name is Linda Peavy, and I am going to be your hostess for this afternoon, where we are going to talk about how you get grants for your woman-owned business or your woman-led nonprofit. Now, as you come in, say hello to me. Don't be shy. Give that city and that state a shout out so I know where you are coming in from. I am in the land, not too far from Cleveland, Ohio. Go Cavs, go Cavs. So as you come in, let me know where you are coming in from. Hey, Emily from Chi-Town. And is it Yakisha? Yakisha from Richmond, Alexis from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hey, Rachel from Boston. And Melody is coming in from the Big Apple, New York. Hello, Carmelita. Carmelita is coming in from Tampa. And the family hustle is here from Philly. Hey, Barbara from Palmyra, Virginia. And Alicia is coming in from the Big D, Dallas. Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see. Kiana from Indianapolis. Ooh, just our neighbors right to the west. And Savannah's coming in from California, and Tiffany from Sacramento. Yes, Carmelita. It is afternoon. Yes, yes, yes. Where I am anyway, right? It's afternoon. I have people from all over the world here, so I you could be in very different time zone. And Yolanda from Maryland and Lavon from, is it Kissimmee? I think that's how you pronounce that. I've been there enough times you would think I would know. Is it Kissimmee, Florida? And Caitlin from Houston, Janet, from the college town, Ann Arbor. I won't hold that against you, Janet, being that I am from Ohio. I won't hold that against you, Janet. Diane from Athens, Georgia, and Marcia from Orlando, and Precious is coming in from Las Vegas, and Rebecca from Skokie, Illinois. Hello, hello, hello. Tiffany is coming in from Tennessee and Maryland, from Houston. Yes, and Aratina from the Big D, Detroit, Detroit. The Motor City is up in the house. Hello, everyone. My name is Linda. I'm going to be your host for this afternoon. We're going to get started because I have so much information to share with you. And I know some of you are on, a bit of a timeline. So let's get moving as we say hello to Cassandra from Greensboro. Sandra, I know where that is. I was in Greensboro. Last year, I was in Greensboro, North Carolina. Yes, 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 yes. All right. I'm going to share my screen, and the first screen that you're going to see is just my little 30-second TV commercial, which will just give you a little bit of background information about me, but we're live. So as I always say, when I hit this share screen button, come on through, technology. Come through, come through. It is looking good thus far. All right. Okay. I think it wants to make it. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Hi, I'm Linda Peavy, owner of LaPav Consulting. My passion is to place your organization on the path to excellence. Are you struggling to communicate your message, reach target audiences, or secure funding? From marketing communications to grant writing, we achieve your goals. We've worked with high-profile clients and have secured $17 million in funding for charter schools and nonprofits. Call today to discuss what your success looks like and how LaPav Consulting can help.
All right, so let's make sure everybody's in the right place this holiday week. Grant writing for women-owned businesses and women-led nonprofits. This is the live noon session. I have a session tonight at 7 o'clock too, in case anyone wants to attend. I'm going to drop the link into the chat a little bit later. Now, my background. Yes, they call me the grants queen because I have secured over $17 million in funding and business development. And this is year 16 of me owning my company, LaPav Consulting. And every one of those years, I have been a professional grant writer. I do provide grant writing workshops for many different organizations all over the country, including Goldman Sachs. Just taught them a couple of weeks ago. where I am a proud alumnus of their Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. My undergraduate and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron, and I am a member of Forbes Black, which is an organization of Black leaders affiliated with Forbes magazine. Now, yes, I own a business, but I used to lead a nonprofit. So I want to know who is here with me today. So put into the chat, are you a nonprofit or a for-profit, meaning you are a small business, right? Or maybe you're both, because as I always say, more and more, I'm saying nonprofits open for-profits open nonprofits. So maybe there we go. Both. Yes. For-profit, nonprofit, aspiring nonprofit, both, which is really, really great, right? If you have both, because it means that you can increase your breadth of the types of grants that you apply for. Now, why do I ask you this question? Because I'd like to make it super clear right from the beginning. There are grants for both. You're in the right place. There are grants for small businesses and there are grants for nonprofits. And I know this may sound a little bit strange, right? Because when you thought about a grant, what did you think about? A nonprofit. Everything is different now. So yes, there are grants for profits and grants for nonprofits. So you are in the right place. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now, how did I get here? I used to be a publishing executive in Pennsylvania, Valley Forge, very historical Valley Forge. But I got hurt. When I got hurt, I had to move back to Cleveland to recuperate. Literally came home in a wheelchair. I'll never forget that plane ride because I was on the plane with Patti LaBelle, but that's a different story for a different time. So when I landed in Cleveland, it literally took me 2 years to recuperate. And at the end of those 2 years, I could not find a job because my background was in professional publishing, traditional publishing. And as you can imagine, Cleveland, Ohio is like not the publishing mecca of the United States. So that's when I started LaPav Consulting because I couldn't find a job. And one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. And I don't think I was there, 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant. I had never seen a grant before. I had no knowledge of grants, and I'm being asked to write a grant to save my job, to pay for my salary. You know what? I did it. I researched, I wrote that grant, I won that grant, I paid for my salary, I saved my job, saved the organization. And I realized that one, yes, you can absolutely write grants with no experience. And two, there's this amazing connection with what you can do with grant money that I want all of you to understand really clearly and deeply. It can change the life of your organization because now you can have free money, right, to grow your organization, to hire help. I know you're tired of wearing all 20 hats, right? And being able to expand. So we'll talk more about what you can do with grant money a little bit later. Now, what else will we talk about? Why this class is even important. And then grant landscape. I will give you some grant basics. We'll talk about how do you prepare to even apply for grants. And then what do you write in an application and how do you write the application so that you're getting attracted, right, to the very foundations that want to give you funding, right? And then how do you get your application noticed in a sea of applications, right? We know grants are very competitive. And then I'm going to show you how you conduct grant research so that you are finding the foundations and organizations that want to give you funding. And then don't go anywhere because I have a bonus surprise for you. I have a list of available grants, and then we're going to do a Q&A. Now, let me just say to all of you, I am here to help you, all right? This is not the time to be shy. This is your opportunity to ask a grants expert and a grants instructor questions about grants, right? So enter the Q&A either in the chat or the Q&A. Ask your questions. We will cover them at the end. And let me just say this to all of you. I am here to help you. I'm here to help you, right? So you're going to get a copy of the replay. I am not going to charge for my replays, right? So you will get the replay for free and you will have it tonight and you will have it forever. It won't expire, right? I don't want this knowledge to expire. I want you to be able to come back to it again and again and again to get this information. So don't worry. I know I go swiftly, but you will get this replay. You will get it tonight. It will be free. You'll have it forever. All right. It's time to get moving. Now, why are we even here? Because we as women leaders, we need access to funding. And guess what? It shouldn't always be about loans. We want grant money because grant money is free to us. But let me say this to all of you. You can write a grant. Nothing to be scared of. You can write a grant. You can write a grant. Grant writing is different than it used to be, right? You're not sitting in some corner writing some 300-page document for 3 months at a time. I know because that's exactly what I used to do. And I can tell you that some grant applications, I kid you not, are 2 or 3 pages, right? I've seen some as little as 500 words. But what you must know is that there's a process to actually winning the grant. And that's what I've discovered after winning over $17 million. This is about more than you just answering some questions on an application and sending it off. That's a quick way to get a rejection letter. There's a process to this, and that's part of what I am going to teach you today. All right? All right. Now, why is there so much money available for both nonprofits and for-profits? Now, you know there have always been grant money for nonprofits, but money for small businesses and for-profits, that's new. That was because of COVID-19, when so many small businesses went under. Your major corporations in this country that have foundations as a part of their infrastructure stepped in and said, we have to do something. Small businesses are going under, and the small business is the backbone of the U.S. economy. So that's why most of the grants that you see for small businesses are by organizations or corporations. Now, your family foundations and your community foundations and your private foundations, they're still predominantly giving money to nonprofits. But the good news is that there's money for both now, nonprofits and small businesses. All right. So you're in the right place. Now, grant basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back, regardless of what you're seeing on social media. Oh, I see so much misinformation on social media. Grants are not paid back. Now, for the next minute, I'm only talking to nonprofits. Get your 501c3. That is your tax-exempt charitable designation by the IRS. Doesn't matter if you are a school or a church, excuse me, you still need your 501c3. Why? Because foundations are mandated by their board of directors that they can only give grant money to nonprofits with a 501c3. So the good news for you, it used to take the IRS 6 months to process these applications. Now it's only taking about 8 weeks. So get your 501c3. And I've heard just recently, I know organizations that got theirs even less time. So get your 501c3. Now, from this point forward, I'm talking to everybody, small businesses, nonprofits, as we move through this presentation, because I want you all to look at this next slide and look at it carefully. U.S. grant annual funding. Look at this money. Foundation, corporation, and bequest giving, $189 billion, billion with a B, in 1 year. If you throw in individual giving, you're up to $455 billion. Ladies, don't let anybody ever tell you that there's no grant money. There's plenty of grant money. The question is, how are you going to get it? And when you look at this number, everybody look at this number. Don't be overwhelmed by that number. Don't think, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get any part of this $189 billion? No, you have to look at it and think, I just need what I need, right? You don't need it all. You just need your share of what you need, right? You just need a little bit. I mean, think about this. This is a lot of money. You just need a little bit. $189 billion. So you know what I want you to do, everybody right now into this chat, I want you to write, I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit because I want you to focus on what you need, right? Everybody right now, right into this chat. I just need a little bit. That's what I'm talking about because we're not trying to be greedy, right? Nikki, do you need it all? Right? Jafia, do you need all $189 billion? Latressa, Latressa says a smidge. That's what I'm talking about. Octavia, you don't need all the money, do you? Right? Keisha, all $189 billion or just what you need? Look, this is a huge pie, right? I tell everybody, you can leave me some crumbs. Tiffany says just a taste. That's what I'm talking about. Because a taste of $189 billion, oh, that's going to leave a whole lot, right? A taste of this is going to fill you up, right? That's what I'm talking about. Don't be intimidated by these large numbers. You just need what you need. All right. Now, because they call me the grants queen, right? And it's chilly today. I'm going to give you these nice cups of tea. This is the first cup. It is called Grammarly. If you use Grammarly right now in the chat, give yourself some love. If you use Grammarly, what is it? It is a software editing tool. You download it onto your computer. You use it when you write Word, right? Your Word documents, Excel, your emails. I know people use it to text. It is free. Why is this important? Because I do not want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. No. And it doesn't matter how many letters you have behind your name. I am a professional editor, a professional writer, and a professional grant writer, right? With a few degrees. I wouldn't write without Grammarly, right? Download it. It is free. All right. And in courtesy of our friends at Grammarly, I want all of you to download this article too. Improve writing skills dramatically by doing these 15 things. Who is using Grammarly? Yes, Latressa. Latressa says yes to Grammarly. Janet is using it. Yes, 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 yes. That's what I'm talking about. Download it. Jafia says yes, download it. It's free. It's free. It will make you a better writer. All right. Now, what are we doing? We are getting prepared to apply for grants. Get your documents in order. Get that EIN, your employer identification number. Nonprofits, you need that 501c3. Now, especially for profits, if you are incorporated, that's a great thing, right? That's a great start, but it depends on what state you're in because some states require a state certification or business license. That's another name for it. Some states don't. I'm in Ohio. I have a business. I must have a business license. You want to check? Go to your Secretary of State's website. Find out whether or not you are required to have a state certification or a business license. Now, especially nonprofits, you need your list of your board members. It is mandated that you have a board of directors. For profits, if you have a board, great. You need a list. List any staff members. Get letters of support. Let the foundation know that there are other organizations that support you. Where are they coming from? Could be your vendors, your church, your pastor, community leaders, right? Politicians, if you know them. Now, everyone, all of you, this is so important. All of you need what's called an operating budget. And if you are a startup, yes, you can guess, right? Because you have to have some idea of how much money it's going to take for you to operate that first year, because that will also allow you to determine approximately how much grant money you need. Because you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I need $1 million in grant money, I'll never get it. And then when you actually create a budget of how much money you really need, you may realize, oh, I only need $50,000 in grant funding, right? So create a budget, all of you, even you startups. Now, if you're currently operating, you have budgets, but you will need your financial documents, which is your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement. All right, got it? This is how you prepare, how you become grant ready. All right. Now, I'm going to go through a typical grant application and give you best practices. All right. The first section of the grant that you are going to see is called the summary abstract. Do not be fooled. You will see it first. You always write it last. Why? Because you're going to go through your completed grant application and start pulling out the most important and compelling components and dump those sections into the summary abstract. Why? Because the summary abstract is the absolute first section that your foundation is going to see. So it's got to be great. All right. Now, your mission statement is critical. Yes, you need a mission statement. Yes, for profits. Yes, small businesses, you need a mission statement because your mission statement is going to align you to the organization that wants to give you grant money. Let's say you are like laser focused on K through 12 education. You need to be finding foundations that also have a passion for education, right? And you're not changing your mission statement based on what foundation you seek funding from. Your mission statement is static because it defines who you are and your aims and your goals. No, you need to be looking for foundations that align to your mission. All right. So if you don't have a mission statement, that's like homework 101. All right. So yes, get that mission statement done. Now, history, never leave this section blank, even if you are a startup, because every organization has a history. If you're a startup, now you're thinking about what was the catalyst? What was the impetus for me starting my organization? Because whatever those dynamics were, whatever those experiences were, they become a part of the organization's history. All right. Leadership, that's easy. That's your CEO, your executive director, but you always include your board because your board of directors are very much a part of your leadership team. Got it? Now, this next section, this is where you are going to set your organization apart from everybody else's. I want you all to think about one word: impact. What has been the impact of your organization on the people that you serve? Use real numbers. You have a homeless ministry. How many homeless people have you placed in shelters? You have a restaurant. How many people do you serve in the course of a week or a year? You have an online, right, small business. Maybe you have a coaching service. You coach career development. How many people have you led to their future careers? And if you have not yet opened, you still are going to use impact in real numbers because now you're going to be talking about what you hope your impact will be. You have an after-school program, maybe in tutoring. You might indicate, oh, I want the impact to be that these kids increase their reading proficiency by 3%. All right. So whether or not you are open or you will be opening, use impact, use real numbers as you are describing your organization. Got it? All right. All right. Now, this next section may require you to rethink how you see your organization because you have to write this application as if you are addressing an issue or resolving a problem. And there's always a problem. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Let's say you are a bakery, you want to open up in a downtown location. And you might be thinking, what is the issue? She's making cakes all day. Maybe she decided to open up a vegan bakery because vegans don't have a lot of great places to buy baked goods. So she's resolving their issue. Or maybe the area where she wants to locate, blight, right? Many failed businesses, and she wants to go in and contribute to the economic development of that community, right? Are you that LLC coaching service and career development, right? You're resolving the issue that people want, right? To maybe start new careers or don't know, right? What career to follow after maybe they've been let go. So you have to rethink how you see your organization because you have to write this grant application as if you are solving an issue because whatever that issue is going to lead you to the foundation that wants to give you money because all foundations give based on a particular issue or what's called areas of interest. Now, how do you find out what they are? You go to their website, you go to that foundation's website. It's always going to be there. But guess what? 90% of foundations don't have a website. Oh, that's where you have to get creative and how you find them. All right. Now, this is another area where a lot of you get into trouble. I've been consulting with organizations for 16 years now. And oftentimes when I ask, who are you serving? Who are you helping? I get the same answer. I help everybody. I help everybody. I help everybody that comes my way. I just have a heart for helping. It's great that you have a heart for helping, but you can't help everybody. You cannot help everybody. And that's something that for some of you is difficult to ingest, right? This is how you get burnt out, trying to help everybody. You can't. You have to ask yourself, who would best be served by my organization? Is it people who've aged out of foster care? Is it veterans? Is it vegans? And then you still have to drill down. Let's say it's the homeless. What homeless? Homeless veterans, homeless single parents, right? So if you want to drop a couple of your target populations into the chat, I'll comment if I have time when we get to the Q&A. You should have one, maybe two. One, maybe two. All right? That's it. All right. Be excited. Be excited to write this grant because this is your opportunity to finally tell your story. Talk about how you've been able to change lives and achieve outcomes, and no better way of showing impact than using video. If you're currently open, have your client pick up their cell phone and talk into it for 30 seconds and give you a testimonial. You put that testimonial on the home page of your website. And yes, foundations oftentimes will take a look at your website, get a feel for who you are and what you do. Let's say you haven't even opened. You can still use video. Now you're showcasing what the issue is. That restaurant that wants to open in an area where there's blight, she can literally videotape, showcase, this is the area. This is how I want to transform it. All right? Be excited. Grant application is an opportunity for you to finally tell your story, right? Now, all of you have a decision to make when you approach a foundation. Are you asking for operating grant money or program project grant money? You know, operating grant money is really to shore up your administrative fees, right? Or your administrative expenses. You get to decide where to put the money. Salaries, your lease, IT, marketing. Only about 32% of foundations give this general operating support. Most grant money must be applied to some particular aspect of your organization. All right. Now, here's another takeaway. You must apply to multiple foundations. Why do you think that is? Into the chat. I want you to quickly put into the chat. Why do you think you have to apply to multiple foundations? Because this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is a marathon. Why? To better your chances. Yes, 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 yes. What else? What are the reasons? Why should you be applying to different funding? Absolutely. Because there are many applicants. You're all right. But mainly, grants are not guaranteed. Don't let anybody tell you they can guarantee you grant money. Do you know that after 16 years in this industry, I am hearing, I think it's almost daily now, people who've been scammed, scammers saying, oh, I can guarantee you grant money if you give me a certain amount of money. No, no, no such thing. People, be careful. Okay, be careful. No such thing. Apply to multiple foundations, right, to increase your chance and to apply for different funding, right? You could have a program where you could apply to five different separate grant programs for the same, right, for your same program, right? Always apply to multiple foundations. Now, I can't possibly overstate the importance of all of you seeking community partners. This is critical, not just to strengthen your grant application, but for your very survival, because you can't do this alone. You cannot do this alone, right? Take my word for it, after being in business for 16 years. And this is easier than you think. Let's say you have an accounting firm. You could ask your local library, a well-respected community partner, if you could give a 1-hour tax talk every month, right? They're going to promote you, right? You're going to get information about your organization out. And for reason number two, it will increase your level of visibility. Some of you have fantastic programs. Nobody knows about them. Nobody even knows about you, even in your own community. This is why when you connect with well-respected organizations like libraries or universities or other women's business organizations, they're already high profile. by you connecting, you get a little bit of their shine, and oftentimes they will promote you and what you're doing, right? This becomes so important just for the survival of your nonprofit or small business, right? So if you want to drop in a few that you might connect with, great, because homework for all of you is to name five. Name five organizations based on your organization that you're going to connect with. I will give you another quick example, right? I talked about a for-profit, right, with the accounting firm. Let's say you have a nonprofit. Let's say you have a program where you help ex-offenders, right, to be reacclimated to society, right? You should be connecting with them before they're released from jail. So who are some of your community partners? What? You can name some. Think about this. What would community partners look like, right? For somebody who has a program where they are helping ex-offenders to be reacclimated, maybe give them some soft skills, right? Some job training, dress for success. You're going to be connecting with who? Absolutely. Parole officers, right? The jail system, the warden, the chaplain, right? Any type of community, right? Criminal justice organizations, social services, absolutely, right? So you all have to think about this. Who are you going to connect with, right? Name five. Name five, right? That's homework for you. Now, if you are applying for grant funding, you must talk about what do you think your goals are going to be? What's going to happen if you get the grant funding? But you can't write regular goals. They have to be SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Some of you know about SMART goals. Now, let's say I have a literacy program. I write down as my goal, I want to reduce the poverty rate in Cleveland. That's not a SMART goal. That's a goal, but it's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal would say, I want to reduce the poverty rate by 5% in Cleveland for Hispanic children under the age of 5 within a 5-year time frame. Into the chat, everybody, what did I do there? How did I change the goal into a SMART goal? What did I do? What did I do there? What did I do? I was more specific, Latressa. What else did I do? What else did I do, Tiasa? I was specific. Yes. There we go. Emily got it. Measurable. Measurable, right? I created metrics. I introduced specific components that you can measure whether or not you're going to be successful. 5%. Cleveland, Hispanic children under the age of 5, 5-year time frame. I added data and stats. Anytime you want to change that goal into a SMART goal, you add data and stats because you will be asked for these SMART goals on the grant application. All right. Just keep in mind, these foundations want to know who you are. So just be prepared to have an updated bio. So that's homework for some of you. All right. Now we're on to the money. This is the budget. This is how you are going to be spending the grant money. Itemize those expenses. Let's say you want $50,000 for an executive director and grant funding. Be specific. Is it a contracted executive director? If so, how much money are you paying them per hour? How many hours are they working a week? How many weeks out of the year? You need items, you need supplies. What do you need? What are you using them for? How many do you need? The explanation or the description of how you're using the money goes into the budget narrative. The numbers, right? The numbers go into the budget, usually in an Excel file. All right. But itemize, 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 be specific. Now, sustainability, I love because you may get grant money in year 1. It doesn't mean you're going to get grant money in year 2. And many organizations were getting this grant money in year 1. And when year 2 came and they didn't get the grant again, there went the program. Sometimes there went the whole organization. So now foundations are saying you need to write in that initial application. How are you going to sustain sustainability, your organization or your program in year 2, even if you don't get, excuse me, the grant money? So we're going to do a little activity. I want you to think about a high school A high school got a $20,000 grant in year one to pay for a tutoring program. But they had to write in that initial application, oh, if we don't get this grant money in year two, we're going to be okay because we have a plan. We have a plan to come up with $20,000 in year two. Into the chat, everybody. What do you think they wrote? What do you think they wrote in that initial grant application to say, we're going to be okay because we have a plan to come up with $20,000 in year two to still pay for our tutoring program, even if we don't get any grant money. This is a high school. Yes, absolutely. The trust of donations, Emily, diversified funding. Where is it coming from, right? Fundraising, right? What about the old bake sale, right? Selling candy. We used to sell candy in high school, right? That was so many decades ago. I barely even remember, but I remember we did used to, right? The bake sales. Absolutely. What about a talent show that they charge for, right? Donations. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Janet, Lindsay, Emily. Yes. This diversified funding, Canada, they're going to lay it out. Like, this is what we're going to do, right? You have to be creative, like the people in the chat. You need to be able to say, we're going to be okay in year two. We have a plan. It could be anything from we're going to increase our prices. We're going to bring in a volunteer grant writer, right? We're going to really market and connect with community organizations to help us market, right? But you have to be able to address it in that first application. All right. Now, this is the slide here. If you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is it. Do your screenshots, do whatever you have to do. This is the slide. This is the slide. This is as important as anything you will write in that application. And that is meeting with the foundation first. Yes, you need to create a relationship. Securing grant funding is all about building relationship. And this is a Zoom meeting, right? This is like a 30-minute Zoom meeting. Now, if the foundation is located near you, meet with them in person. But if not, we're talking about Zoom meetings, 30 minutes, where they get to know you. You get to know more about them in their program, and you want to meet with them because you're considering getting their grant money. And they want to meet with you. They're considering giving you their grant money. And guess what? In that meeting, they will talk about issues with that grant that is not even listed on the website. Makes a difference. Every time I think about setting up these meetings, I think about my one client, $30,000 after a 30-minute Zoom meeting because the mission's aligned. And I've probably set up 1,000 of these meetings in the last 16 years, right? This is critical. There's nothing to be scared of. They literally want to meet with you. This is their purpose, right? To meet with organizations. And as I said, typically it's a Zoom meeting because keep in mind, if you're applying to national foundations, they're all over the country. All right. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Like, oh, Linda, this sounds good. This sounds nice. But I don't have time for this. I do not have time to write these grants. I don't have time to write these grants. Now, remember I said at the beginning, some grant applications are 2 and 3 pages. I was not kidding. I was not kidding. And I want to ask you all a question, and I would like an answer in the chat. Do you have time to get free money? Like, do you have time to get this free money? Let me see in the chat if anybody has time to get free money. Oh, I see yes. I see a course. I see yes, yes. I see absolutely. I see I will make time. I see yes, I have time. I see yes, I have all the time. Well, it looks like you have time to get some free money. See, if you have time to get some free money, I need you to spend just a little bit of time on the process, to get the free money. This is what you're going to do. You're going to send an email to that foundation. In that email, you are describing your organization, right? You're talking about who you serve, how you serve them. You are aligning your mission to the mission of that foundation that you find. In this email, you are not asking for money. That's a quick way for you to get a rejection letter, right? you're asking for a meeting. In the meeting, you ask for the money. Because if you send this email to a real person with a real email address, yeah, you will get a response. Now it's time to find the money. This is where you're going to conduct grant research. The Foundation Directory online is the leading source of information on grantors, grant makers in the US. They don't give you the grant. They give you the organizations that provide grants. So if you're seeking an organization and you're in Detroit and you have a program where you help disabled veterans with PTSD get reacclimated back to civilian life, you input that information, you're going to get a huge list of organizations that provide such grants. And then you do your research. Now, FDL is also called Candid, CANDID, right? But this is the website here. $50 a month if you want to subscribe, right? But it's free at your local library, right? It's free. Now, look, first of all, I love Google, right? But you want to go to a portal that specifically houses grants. FDO, grants.gov. That's free, right? That's your source for federal grants. Lilly Foundation is the largest fund of religious organizations. I love Grant Watch. They're $20 a week. Spend your $20, get you a list of grants. Now, they do provide information about the actual grant opportunity. They give you a synopsis of the grant application, right? And information about the sponsor, including contact information, name, email address, telephone number, right? $20 a week. GrantStation is $200 for the entire year. By the way, GrantStation is also $200 for the whole year if you want it for the year. They're both $200. GrantStation, they provide you with a lot of free training. And they do a great job of really allowing you to input specifically what type of programming or service or company that you have. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org, sign up, free email, newsletter, and then they have a lot of free training as well. Now, I want to show you really quickly. This is Grant Watch, $20 a week. This is how you get a list of grants. Look there in the middle. You apply, right, as a nonprofit, business, or individual. Then you look to my left. You start applying filters, right? Who's your target population? Who do you help? What is your subject area? What is your location? You input this information, you press a button, you get a list of grants. Now, let me say something to you about location, all of you, because you're leaving money on the table. Yes, you are. Start local. It's easier to get local grant money. Don't be seduced. Please don't be seduced by these $2 and $3 million government grants. They're very difficult to get. Usually you need a partner. Start local. It's easier. You can all Google local community foundation near me. Local community foundation near me, because there is one near you. Meet with them. Now, don't disregard the national grant makers. Just because an organization is headquartered in Texas doesn't mean they're not giving money to you and you're in Connecticut. Do both. And then for my international friends, yes, this is for you. No matter where you are in the world, are you in Canada, are you in Africa, you're searching for grants in those, right, areas, yes, you can search for grants. You could live here in the United States and your target population is Belize, and you can search for grants. So this is not just for US-based organizations. All right, this is for everyone. All right, but input your information, get you a list, $20 a week. Now, I said I had a list of grants for you. Hello, Alice. We're still in November. They have at least 3 grants. Hello, Alice is a portal for especially women-owned businesses, a grant portal. I know they have at least 3 grants. 2 in the restaurant, food, beverage industry, 1 in tech. Do you have a brick and mortar, like a physical location? Grant, the Main Street grant. Now, let me say this. If you come to any of these sites and the deadline is passed, please get on their email list, because more than likely, round 2 or round 3 or round 4 is coming up, and you want to know when that grant opens. All right? Amber Grants for Women, every month, they give away $30,000. $10,000 is earmarked for startups. Another $10,000 is earmarked for a particular theme. The November theme was the creative arts. If you are doing any work in the arts, that grant is open right now. I won't go through all of these. Do any of you need an angel investor where you need a significant amount of funding? 37angels.com. Cartier, the jewelry company, they have a program. Are you a startup? Busy and Sky's the Limit. They both have startup grants, and so does Amber Grants for Women. Now, you might be saying, Linda, I'm super small. It's just me, right? I can't get grant money. That's not true. You can get grant money, even if it's just you. It should never just be you, though, right? If you don't do anything else, call your local community college and try to get interns. Not every intern wants to be paid. Some interns just want experience, right? Like, you cannot do this alone. Or you might say, look, I don't have some large organizational chart. I don't even have paid staff. I'm not even paying myself. You can still get grant money. They're all volunteer organizations. They get grant funding. I know of them. All right. Mustard Seed, that's just for faith-based organizations. Yes, you can get grant money if you have a church. Absolutely. And then Ladies Network. Network. Join organizations, right? Increase your level of visibility. Now, really quickly, into the chat. Let me know the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money. Banks and money into the chat. What comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Ooh, loans. Chase PNC. Yes, the trust. I'm going to get to that in a second. Expensive interest, debt, business credit, fees. You're all right. But did you know that they're some of the largest providers of grant money? Grant money. You've not been going to the right person. It is not your branch manager. It's not your loan officer. It's usually a VP of economic development or community development or community reinvestment. I'm dropping the titles in the chat. I'm going to give you 4 leads. Oh, by the way, don't think it has to be your bank. It doesn't. It could be a bank with like a great presence in your community, like a regional bank or headquarters bank. But I'm going to give you 4 hot leads right now. Bank of America, largest bank in the country, right? Wells Fargo. They both give to for-profits and nonprofits. TD Banks, they give only to nonprofits. The 4th one is Truist, TRUIST. They give to for-profits and nonprofits. You will need to meet with these banks, right? And don't call them and say you heard that there was some grant money available. They probably don't even know what you're talking about. You have to go through links, right? These links here. All right, so I said I had a bonus surprise for you, and I do. I'm going to get right to it because you saw the amount of money that's available, right? And let me say to all of you, in all sincerity, we don't know what's getting ready to happen, right? Next year. In all sincerity, we don't know what's going to happen, right? We've heard that there will be like drastic cuts to the federal government. A lot of grant money originates with the federal government. You should know that. A lot of grant money originates with the federal government and then goes through your county or your state and sometimes your city. I'll give you an example of childcare. If you have a daycare center, most of that childcare or daycare center money comes from the U.S. Department of Education because it's considered early childhood education, filtered down through the communities, right? What I do know is that a lot of those organizations, their budgets have been set. The organizations that provide funding, the budgets have been set. So I know at least to the beginning of the year, a lot of this money will still be available, but who knows what's going to happen, right? Place yourself in a position to get this grant money. Please place yourself in a position. I wrote a complete grant writing course for you. This is how I won $17 million. And it includes my coaching, which is very important. Remember, I said it's about more than you just answering some questions. I include my coaching to get you to the next level where you're actually receiving grant money, right? The course will teach you how to write every part of a grant narrative, from the budget to the problem statement, the need statement, right? And then I teach you how to research to find organizations. Let's say you find one and you meet with them. My coaching comes in because I can tell you what to say, how to say it. What do you bring to the meeting? What do you listen for? What are the keywords, right? The course will teach you how to write your budget. But if you ask me the questions, I can tell you, should you be asking for program money or operating money? And how much should you be asking, right? So the coaching is what is as important as the course. You get 12 modules, 35 lessons. There's a video in front of every lesson. And this is why the course is different, because over the past 16 years, I've been hired to build and create grant applications. I am pretty familiar with those questions, and I have utilized those questions to create this course. So this is where you're doing the preliminary work in my course at your own pace, under no pressure, and getting help from me, right? And an entire Facebook group, which we'll talk about in a second. So you are answering grant questions in my course. When you're done, you're going to create a beautiful grant template. You're going to use that template to start actually applying for grants. And yes, I give you real grant examples. Every grant example I wrote and every grant example won money. I give you a list that nobody else is providing, a list of over 600 organizations to get you ready. This course is for people who are ready to get grant money, right? Who want to go through the steps, even if you have not yet opened, right? Then we get you grant ready, right? So that you're ready the right way. And I have a private Facebook group. I always laugh when I think about the group, because I always describe it like the Facebook group is lit, like the young kids say, because it is. You want to know where there are grants? There are grants in the Facebook group. I drop grants to students. I kid you not, they probably drop more grants than I do. It's about collaboration. 3 weeks ago, they started 8 different groups within the group, like chats, to collaborate, right? To connect. It's all about community. And that's what you want, because people are being scammed. And you want to be in a safe space to try to get this money and to protect yourself, right? And then one more, I give you an hour of group coaching. That's an hour, 1 hour every single month, right? You get an hour of group coaching live with me, right? Try to get you to this next level. Now, this is not what you're paying. This is very important, though, for you to understand. I've had my course audited 3 times. The 12 modules, 35 lessons are worth $3,549. The intro videos are worth $599. The funding list is worth $499. The workbooks, planners, grant trackers are worth $350. That's not what you need to know. What you need to know is that the overall value of the course is $5,000. That's what you most need to know. And I don't believe in plucking numbers from the sky and saying, oh, my course is worth. No. I've had the course audited, and the university grant writing courses, oh my gosh, they're $5,000. And you certainly don't get access to the professor afterwards, right? And you may get the materials for 2 or 3 months. My course never expires, and it's $997. I keep it on sale for $497. But you hopped on the webinar, so you're getting an additional 50% off for 3 days. Actually, you're getting longer than 3 days, right? You're actually getting until Friday. Usually people only get 3 days, but we know what week it is, right? We know what week it is. So I'm actually giving you an additional 2 days until Friday. All right? 50% off everything for $247. Most people think that's a monthly fee. It is not. What you need to know is that this is how I serve the community, right? I give you this course that's valued at $5,000 easily. I have friends who charge $2,000 for their courses, their grant writing courses, and you don't get anywhere near what I give you. The number is right. It's $247 one payment. You have to use the code, though, NLB25N. And if you need 2 months to pay, I even give you 2 months to pay. $137.50 now, and then in 1 month, you pay the last $137.50. Just put a 2 on the end of the code so that we know you want the 2-month payment plan, all right? And this is everything you get. I didn't talk about some of these components because of time, the LOI, the letter of inquiry. There's an entire lesson on it, because sometimes organizations want you to complete an LOI before you even get to the grant application. All right. Facebook group, yes, it's self-paced. You go at your own pace. You come into the Facebook group for help and the live group coaching calls for help. And if you look at the prior group coaching calls, they will be of help to you. All right. So one payment, one and done, 247. You want to make the payment, you get everything immediately, right? The link is in the chat. The link to the course is in the chat. So just make sure you look, because people are asking, make sure you look in the chat. Should be right in the chat. You want to make the one payment, right? Just one payment of 247. Hit the 497 because you're getting a discount off of 497. You will see this page here. Look to the left there. Everybody else pays 497. You have a huge discount. Most people don't even have a discount code. You're taking 50% off, $247, one and done, right? And we're ending up the year. I can assure you this course will not be $247 next year, right? Look at this little block though. That is a deep dive, VIP session, you and me, private session, one-on-one. Oh, I get you together. I get you together because before we even talk about grants, I look at your mission, vision, infrastructure, target population, and whatever your program or project or company is, right? It's $495 for the hour because you get the session notes and you even get a video and you leave it complete clarity. The only time you'll see it at $195 is if you buy it along with the course, then it's $195. Now, this is something special that is being offered now. It's buy now, pay later. It's only available for the one payment of $247, or if you want to add the $195, I think it comes like $447. Affirm Afterpay and Klarna will give you 6 months, same as cash. 6 months, no interest. 6 months, no interest. If you want 12 months, Affirm will offer it, but there's interest. But $247, right? Spread out over 6 months, no interest. You might get a grant before you even pay for the course, right? But that's up to you. If you want to make the 2 payments to us, you can. This is the 2 payment plan here, 2 times 275. You hit that. This is important. Hit the have a coupon because you have a coupon, right? NOV25 and the number 2, you input it, it takes off 50%. That was only $137.50, $137.50 that you pay now. And you get access to everything. I don't like drip my course. You get the whole course, Facebook group coaching calls. And yes, you can add on the $195. Just know you have to pay the other $137.50 30 days from now. Everybody look at this slide here. This is very important. Look at Whitney. Whitney did not think she would get any grant money, but she's a student. She needed grant money. She did exactly what I'm asking you to do. She started local. Southern Power Fund gave her $40,000. Then she went national. National Birth Equity Collaborative gave her $50,000. She has a doula program where she wants to make sure that women have healthy births. I talked to her. She told me she got over $200,000 last year. And she said, Linda, now I can be a salaried employee of my business. $200,000 in 1 year. You have a LLC, Tranquility Point Therapeutic Massage, a massage company, people in Charlotte got $20,000. We are so very thankful and grateful for your course. It's been life-changing for our business, life-changing. Christina is an educator. She said, I would not have had the confidence to follow through on applying for grants if it wasn't for her grant writing course. The depth of information provided is unmatched from my experience, and she's an educator. She would know. I won my very first grant to grow my business, and I am so grateful. She won $10,000. And yes, it is possible if you've never received a grant before to get a grant. Are you ready to enter a pitch competition? That's what April did. But she called me first. She said, Linda, I'm ready to go. You taught me how to tell my story. Came in second place, beat out 100 competitors, took home $9,000. Oh, and 3 weeks ago, my student Emily, she won the LegalZoom grant, $10,000. Quenisha won that elusive Walmart grant. She bought the one-on-one. Thanks, Linda Peavy, because that one-on-one session we had is getting my organization funded. And Kimberly got 4 sponsorships in less than 2 months. And the Q&A asked me the difference between a grant and a sponsorship. You will want to know. All right. All right. Speaking of Q&A, we're done. Oh, we're done. It's Q&A time. It is Q&A time. But before we go to Q&A, before you leave here, I want you to do something for you. Ladies, it's the end of the year. People who know me know I love football. I'm a huge football fan. It's fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter of the year. It's fourth quarter, right? Got to get in the game. Got to get in the game. You have got to take, I want you to take responsibility, right, for your organization getting this grant funding, because nobody's coming to save us. No, I have a coach that says to me all the time, we are the ones we've been looking for. You are the ones you've been looking for because you can do this, but you can do it with my help. This is year 16 for me. I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. All right. I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I know you can do it. Look at those testimonials. They're in the Facebook group. They're real people in the Facebook group, right? 200,000, 20,000, 10,000. Had never received any grants before. So I want all of you to put into the chat before you leave, before you do anything else. I want you to write into the chat, I am ready to get grant money. If you could just do that for yourself, if you could just place yourself, because I believe in manifestation. I believe in writing down what you hope to have manifested. If you could just do that for you, because I hear from you. And many of you have been waiting a very long time to try to get grant funding. You didn't know where to go. You didn't know what to do. You didn't know who to meet, right? Some of you have been scammed, right? Because you didn't go to the right person, or the person gave you misinformation. But I want you to mentally place yourself in a space, because I'm telling you, time is out. Time is out. Time is up. Time is up. You've got to be able to take the reins of your organization and say, I'm going to do this, and you can do it. Doesn't have to be scary. I will coach you along the way. All right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. That's what I'm talking about, family hustle. I'm ready to get grant money. Quinlan, literally, don't write this for me. I want you to write this for you. I spoke with a young lady about 3 weeks ago. Hurt my heart. Hurt my heart. She had a nonprofit for 17 years, had never gotten any grant money. Time is out. Time is out. Lindsay, I'm ready to get grant money. LaTressa, I'm ready to get grant money. Write this for you. Don't write this for me. Write this for you. Tiffany, I'm ready to get grant money. Loretta, Connie, write this for you. Deborah, Teresa, Nikki, write this for you. Write this for you. Artina, I'm ready to get grant money, right? It's the end of the year. Please be ready. January. Oh my gosh. January 1 is go time. It is go time. January 1 is go time. Carmelita, I'm ready to get grant money. I'm ready to get grant money, Loretta, right? Like, do this for you. Do this for you. Write this down for you, right? It's Q&A time. All right. I'm going to start with the Q&A box, and then I'm going to go over to the webinar chat. And by the way, before any of you leave, just know you can write this off. You can write this off. It's completely tax deductible, and you get a certificate at the end. So if you are a nonprofit, you use it as just one of your expenses. If you are a for-profit, it's completely tax deductible. All right. And yes, you get a certificate at the end. All right. And before we go any further, because I know we're after 1 o'clock and some of you have to go, here is the extra bonus surprise. Because what week is it? What week is it? What can anybody put into the chat? What is happening Friday? What is happening Friday? What is happening Friday? It is Black Friday. Now, look, you are already getting a ridiculous price for this course. $247 for a $5,000 course that you're going to write off. If you buy the course today, I'm going to give you a surprise on Friday. You're going to get a credit for a certain amount of money. So you'll get a little bit more off. If you buy the course today, I'm going to surprise you with a little bit more off on Black Friday, right? You'll get a refund for part of what you've paid on Black Friday if you buy the course today. Just a little something, just a little something extra. Got to do something for you, right? For Black Friday. All right. Q&A. Is there a distinction between secular and non-secular organizations with grants? Are there any specific secular-oriented grant websites or portals to be aware of? All of the portals that I gave you house for-profit and nonprofit grants. It's how you search for them. So, for example, when I went to Grant Watch, there was a section in Grant Watch that specifically said, it said entrepreneurs and small businesses. You just want to check that box. When you go to the foundation directory online, you can input that you're looking for grants for small businesses. When you go to Grant Station, there is a box that will specifically say small businesses. So, for example, I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to go here and then go back so that you see what I'm talking about. So most of the grant portals that you go to, okay, here we go. You see in the middle, it says business. So this is Grant Watch. So if you are a business searching for grants, you simply check business, right? So it's not that like you need some completely separate grant search portal. They house grants for-profits. However, I have to say, helloalice.com, that is for businesses. That is strictly for businesses, right? Amber Grants for Women is typically for small businesses. There may be some nonprofit, but typically they're for small businesses too. But that's part of the help you get in the course, right? To know where to look, all right? Okay. I want to write one for my church. Churches get grants too. As a matter of fact, just so you all know, Walmart gives grants to churches. Yes. Can you get a 501c3 for a LLC? Yes. So as an LLC, as a limited liability corporation, this happens a lot. You can be a for-profit because an LLC is a for-profit small business. You can have a nonprofit arm of your for-profit business. For-profits do it all the time. Remember I said your major corporations that are giving away grants, what they do is create foundations. They create 501c3 nonprofits to be a part of their for-profit. I'll tell you where that was more evident than I've ever seen in the 16 years that I've been writing grants. When the pharmaceutical companies were sued and had to pay like $1 billion, right, for the lawsuit, what they did, they created a nonprofit arm of their for-profit so that the money that was given, right, to the plaintiffs came from their foundation, which allowed them to do what? Write it off. Yes. All right. All right. So I'm going to go over to the webinar chat because I did see questions in there. Don't feel as if you have to rephrase your question in the Q&A because I'm going to go through the webinar chat. If you place it in the chat, I'm going to get to it. All right. Yes, it is $247, one and done. One and done. All right, let's see. Right. Someone just said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Absolutely. That's why you're going to be applying for multiple grants, right? Let's see. All right, let's see. What if you can't? They have too many applicants to meet with people. So there will be times, right, when organizations don't want to meet with you. There's nothing you can do about that. If they have a policy that they just Do not meet with their applicants. Then you have to really focus on providing the best application that you possibly can. And so there are so many ways in which organizations don't do that. Too many small businesses or nonprofits, they see the money. They see that a grant is like, oh my gosh, the grant is $1 million. I have to apply for it without even researching to find out whether or not the grant is really for them. The more you can connect what you do with the mission of that organization or how they're giving money, the better connected it will be, the easier it will be for you to get the grant, right? That's what this course is for, to give you a leg up, right? So yes, there may be times when they simply don't want to meet with you. That's absolutely a possibility. But if at all possible, meet with them. And let me say, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Some of your large, I'll give you an example. I'm in Cleveland. The largest community foundation in the country is in Cleveland, the Cleveland Foundation. They want to meet with you. They have billions and billions in endowments. They're the largest community, the first and the largest. They want to meet with you. So sometimes it really has nothing to do with the amount of applications that come in, right? It's about you taking the initiative to say, I want to meet with you. Because believe it or not, most organizations don't know to do that. They're too afraid. They don't even make the attempt to meet. So oftentimes these program directors are like, yes, I'll meet with you. Finally, someone wants to meet with us, right? Okay. Yeah, someone says I'm always available for free money. I know that's right. Let's see. To get federal funding, do you have to register on certain sites like SAM? Absolutely. Absolutely. SAM.gov. And you need a UEI. There's no longer such a thing as a DUNS number. You need a unique entity identifier. And yes, you will absolutely, if you are going after a government grant, whether it's city, local, right? Could be your local municipality, whether it's city, county, state, or federal. It's always best to be in sam.gov if you're going for government funding. Absolutely. Let's see. Do I need a job to apply? Do I need a job to apply for a grant if I'm starting a new company, which will be my nonprofit? I'm not sure what you mean. So something I want you all to understand. When you seek and apply for grant money, you're applying on behalf of an organization, which is either a nonprofit or a small business. It's not for you, right? So the information that you are providing is for the nonprofit or the small business. So I'm not sure I understand what you mean when you say, do I need a job to apply for a grant? The grant is never for you personally. It's for your small business, right? Or it's for your nonprofit. So just rephrase that and let me know if that answered your question. Let's see. Oh, what is the typical timeline for a grant? So that's easy. That's 3 months. But oftentimes it's a lot less than 3 months. It depends on when you apply for the grant. So let's say that the deadline is December 1st and you apply for the grant November 25th. More than likely it's not going to take 3 months, because if the deadline is December 1st, that means their board of directors, typically board of directors meet on behalf of a community foundation, especially to decide who's going to get the grant. They could be meeting soon, right? So that means it may not take the 3 months, right? Which is your typical time that you have to wait. So you may hear faster. Now, let me say this to all of you. When you meet with your community foundation, oftentimes that process is shorter. And sometimes they have what's called discretionary funding. So if you are an established nonprofit, especially for nonprofits, you're established, and you need money exponentially. Often, not often, sometimes you can go to your local community foundation, let them know of your situation, and they have what's called discretionary funding that doesn't go through their typical like process of being reviewed by the board because it's a smaller amount of money. Discretionary funding is usually maybe $15,000 or less. There are times when they can write a check for you a lot faster if it is a smaller amount. Okay. Hello, Janet. I've been doing my homework through your course. She's a student and have documents of my mission and vision statement. I would like to send these docs to you for further discussion. How can we discuss soon? So you can upload your documents into this is for everybody to hear. When you become a student, there's a portal into the Facebook group where you can upload your documents and ask for feedback on a volunteer basis. This is a volunteer basis and ask for feedback. If you purchase the one-on-one with me, we can go through your mission and vision statement in that one-on-one session, which I'm going to do anyway, right? Because that's part of what I do because I want to make sure you have a tight mission statement. But if you're not buying the one-on-one and you want a second set of eyes on your mission and vision statement, come into the Facebook group. There's a file folder where you can dump your documents, and on a volunteer basis, ask for someone to put their set of eyes on your mission and vision statement. If I'm in the Facebook group, and I'm in the Facebook group a lot, I will give you my opinion, right? But that's on a volunteer basis, right? Because that is a specific analysis of your mission and vision. So if you pay for the 1 hour session, yes, we can do a deep dive, but it's just a part of the course because you're already getting such a phenomenal price for the course that has to be on a volunteer basis in the Facebook group. But a lot of people do that quite often. And remember, the Facebook group has professional grant writers, has people with doctorates in English and education, has CEOs. You'll get some really good feedback. This is for all of you. You'll get really good feedback. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So yes, Black Friday. If you buy the course today on Black Friday, I'm going to give you a little more off just as a Black Friday special. So you'll be paying even less, even less. All right. That will include the payment plan. Yes. So even if you like what, Linda, what are you getting yourself into? Even if you make the payment plan, right? Even if you make the 2 payment plan, I will still give you an additional amount off. I will still refund part of your money on Black Friday. Yes. Even if you do the 2 payment plan. Comes once a year, right? Can you get a grant for medical training services? Yes, you can. So it's not an issue. This is for all of you. The issue is not whether or not you can get a grant for whatever it is you're going to type. If it's something legal, you can get a grant. It is about where are you going to search and how do you search to get it? That's what the course is for. So if you're providing something legal, there's a grant for you. Somebody will provide you grant money. It's about how do you find that organization? That's what the course is for. All right. Is grant funding available for private foundations as well as public charities? Excuse me, some. Yes, some. Some. Again, that's where you really have to be great on knowing where to search. Not as many, not as many, but keep in mind, you have private foundations like, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, like CDCs, Community Development Corporations, right? I'll give you another really good example, your chambers of commerce. So there are chambers of commerce that get grant funding, right? So this is where you really have to know where to look. But yes, it is possible. It is possible. Not as often as a 501c3, but it is absolutely possible. What is the timeline of receiving grants once you have won? That's almost immediately. I mean, typically it's within a week, sometimes less than that. So once you are approved for the money, you get the money very fast. It depends on whether or not the system is set up because some foundations want your bank information so that they can deposit it right into your bank account. Others like to just send a paper check, but typically it's within a week. It's very fast once you are approved. So again, a phlebotomy school, yes, it's about searching for who's going to give you a grant for a phlebotomy school. And what does that look like? Is that a public school? Is that a private school? Is that going to be an online school? So the more information that you provide, right, when you are searching, the easier it will be for you to find the money. But a lot of this information, like the course will help you to answer questions so that you can more readily know where to search. Better apply, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's better to apply close to the deadline because the last thing I want you to do is miss that deadline. No, 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 no. I will never say it's better to apply close to the deadline. You have to be super careful because, first of all, remember what I said earlier? You're applying for multiple grants. So once you apply for that grant, go to the next. Go to the next. I don't want you to wait until the end to just try to get a lot of grants done close to every grant deadline, right? That's just undue pressure that you're going to put yourself under. No. No, all of you should have a grant calendar, right? You should have a grant calendar so you know when you are applying for grants. When you do your research, it will help you with the planning. That's why I give you a grant tracker as a part of the course. And you have templates in the course. Remember, I showed you how to ask for a meeting with the foundation? There's a template in the course where all you're doing is just dropping in your information. You want to create a partnership? I have a template in the course. I have an entire grant application template where you are answering the questions in the course. You can answer them right into the Word document. All right. Absolutely, Janet. Yeah. So send me an email, Janet. Send me an email. What companies offer discretionary funding? Banks do, and so do community foundations. Community foundations and banks. Banks who provide grants will sometimes provide discretionary funding, yes. Melissa, could you please drop my email address into the webinar chat? All of you, please put my email address on your safe senders list or your email contact list because you're going to get this replay tonight and I just don't want it going to your spam. I don't want to go into your spam. But before we do anything else, please try to do that. Please try to do that. That's important. All right. Because you're going to get this replay and I just don't want it going into spam. And so Janet, yes, you can use my email. To clarify, I am not working right now. With the funder of the grants I applied for, need to see that I have some kind of income coming in before they allocate a grant. So what are you asking for the grant for? That's the biggest question. What are you asking for a grant for? I want to be clear about this to everyone. Grants are not for your personal use. That's not how you use a grant. You need an organization. Either you need a for-profit small business or you need a nonprofit. You need one of the two. All right. I want to make that clear. Please clarify for me the grant course and VIP. No, the VIP is $195. You add that to whatever you're going to pay. You want to add that to the one payment plan. Then you add the 195 to the 247. I'm going to do something really quickly for all of you. I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to do this live. I'm going to do this live. Here, I need to make sure I'm signed out of something. All right. Oh, wait, let's see. I'm going to do this live. Okay, let me get out. Okay, there. Because I want this to be super clear to everybody. All right. When you hit the link, you're going to see this page. Let's say you want to make the one payment, right? I want to show you both payment plans. The one payment plan, You're hitting 497, right? I'm doing this live. You have a coupon code. You're entering NOV25N. You hit apply. It will literally, you see how it took off $250? I'm doing this live with you. See how it took off 247? Let's say you want to add the coaching. Now it's 442. You see, this is what is going to appear. This is where you can do, if you want the buy now, pay later, you're going to get a firm. If you hit that little drop down arrow, you're going to see Klarna and Afterpay. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's say you want the 2-month payment, right? You want to pay twice, once now and one time, 30 days. Hit the 2 payment plan, 2 times 275. But you have a coupon. You're entering that coupon, NOV25 and the number 2. You hit apply. You see how I immediately took off 50%. Now you're only paying $137.50. If you want to add on the 195, you can. Now you're at $332.50. And then you pay through credit card, knowing that 30 days from now, you're going to pay the last $137.50. Let's say you don't want the coaching, right? Remove it. Now you're paying $137.50 now, right? And you can pay with a credit card, bank card, Google Pay. But 30 days from now, you pay the last $137.50. I hope that explained everything. But before we do anything else right now, everybody, all of you, I need for you to give Lindsay and Quinlan some love. And when I say love, I want to see some clapping of hands. I want to see some hearts because they bought the course. They're like, I'm tired of waiting. The year is beginning. I need to get this done. I'm tired of guessing. I'm tired of not knowing what I'm doing. I need to be coached. I want to talk to somebody who knows a little bit about what they're doing, right? I will see both of you in the Facebook group. This is important for all of you. When you buy the course, first of all, you're going to get a little something off. You're going to get a little bit more off come this Friday. But I'm going to see you in the Facebook group. When you buy the course, you will get 3 emails. Your email with that link to the Facebook group. Oh, you want to be in the Facebook group. The email where you create your username and your password and you get started. You're not waiting for me. This is self-paced. You come to the Facebook group for questions, right? You come to the next group coaching call for questions, right? But when you come into the Facebook group, I do something special. I'm going to ask you a question. Answer my question because I help you immediately. I help you. When I tell you this is how I serve and give back, it is. This is a very small amount of money for what you get. And as I said, for next year, even I can't afford to just basically give this course away for $247 anymore, right? But that's what it is right now. And that's what you get. Yes, Quinlan. Yes, I will see you in the Facebook group, Quinlan. And Lindsay, yes, 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 yes. All right. All right, let's see. Other question. Let me just, Melody, send me an email. The one-on-one is additional. The one-on-one is $195. It's normally $495, right? Which is what you pay if you don't buy it with the course is $495. But it's $195, yes. It is, in addition, I gave you a live demonstration. You have to add it. And it's not, I don't believe in tricking people. It's not like it's checked and you have to uncheck it. You have to add it yourself if you want it. I would be seeking funds for a homeless shelter for disabled veterans. Now, I'm glad you said that because let me say this to everybody, because I get this a lot. People who want to provide a shelter, people who want to build a home or provide a home. You have to be realistic. Like it's unlikely you're going to get $1 million grant to build a building or to build a home if you haven't done well with a $5,000 grant or a $10,000 grant. Start small. If you want to help disabled veterans who are homeless, partner, there are organizations there. This is one of my specialties. The veterans, because I've worked with many veteran organizations that I've been able to secure grant funding when I was writing grants. Start small. Maybe try to lease a home, right? And use that home as transitional housing instead of asking for money to like build a home, right? Or or set up a program where you are intaking veterans who need shelter so that you can refer them to other organizations that provide shelter, because there are organizations that provide shelter for homeless veterans. Not enough, but there are some, right? So maybe right now you're an intake, right? You're an intake resource where you find out their information so that you can refer them to then organizations that will actually provide shelter for them. There's many different ways that you can serve, right? Many different ways you can serve, but that's a fantastic target population. And I know that there's grant money available for it. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Cassandra. I believe we're done. Let me just make sure. Let me go back to the, oh, I think there are more questions in the Q&A. All right. Yes, Janet, you need to do that. You need to do that, Janet. You can either get the one-on-one, right? You can do both. I think you asked if you can do both. You can do both. You can absolutely do both. But I don't want you to feel stagnant because I want you to keep moving. Looks like you've done a lot of work. So do that. Drop it into the group. Ask for assistance. Just ask for some eyes on it. But if you want a deep dive, you can absolutely purchase a one-on-one. What type of grant should I apply for Soul Food Cuisine LLC for a startup to purchase equipment and for salaries for new employees? The restaurant, food and beverage. There's two on Hello Alice right now. So that's food and beverage. Food and beverage. All right. All right. I believe that's it. I believe we are done. I believe we are done. Let me make sure. Let me just I'm checking to make sure that there are no more questions. All right, all right, all right. Let me make sure. Oh, I think I see one more. Nope, I think we're done. You have until Friday to get the additional 50% off. Usually you only have 3 days, but this is a holiday week, right? So you have until Friday to get the 50% off. Whatever you do, this is what I want to say to you. It is so important that you don't stop here. It is so important that you don't stop here. You came onto the webinar letting me know that you need help and that you're serious about moving forward, right? Don't stop here. Don't let this be another webinar that you took, that you participate in, and that you don't do anything with the information because there's too much money available. And when I say to you, you are the one that you've been waiting for, you can do this. You can do this, right? But yes, do it within a community where you can be coached, where you can ask questions. You can ask me enough questions. You cannot ask enough questions in the Facebook group. Ask all the questions you want. And when you go, and this is beautiful, the way the course is built, as you go through every lesson, you can ask a question literally built into the lesson. It's called a discussion starter. And when you ask me a question in the lesson, it comes directly to me and I answer it, right? This is all for $247. And my colleagues who offer $2,000 for their grant writing course, you certainly don't have any access to them. All right. And keep in mind, you have the course forever. All right. So I hope to see you in the Facebook group. I'm going to be in the Facebook group, right? I hope to see you in the Facebook group. Those of you who bought the course. All right. And I hope to see all of you. I hope you do this for you. Know that you can write this off as we're at the end of the year. Know that you can write this off, right? If you have a for-profit, and yes, it can be an expense if you have a nonprofit. And yes, you can take those $247 payments over the course of 6 months if you want with no interest, right? So I want to thank you all so much. My name is Linda Peavy, and I am founder of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys Winning Grant Proposals, and founder of the company LaPop Consulting LLC. I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I know I have a tremendous amount to be grateful and thankful for. Um, and I hope that you have the opportunity to give thanks and to be grateful for where you are here now. So I wish you nothing but love this week, love on Thanksgiving. Uh, I know that you will move forward. Keep in mind that there are people who are waiting on your skills and your passion and your talent to bring your vision to fruition. I would just ask that you do it in a safe space where you can get the help that you need. All right. So thank you all. Before we leave, Deborah was like, hold up. You're not leaving me, Lindsay. Quinlan, you're not leaving me. Deborah bought the course. Deborah was like, hold up, hold up. We got to give Deborah some love. I want to see some clapping of hands. I want to see some hearts for Deborah. Deborah, you are on your way. I will see you in that Facebook group, right? Be prepared to get a little email on Friday with just a little gift, just a little money back, right? So thank you all so much. Again, I appreciate it. And hopefully this will be of help to you. I just don't want this to be it for you because there's just way too many people who need all this passion that you have. Just keep going. I do believe once we get to the new year, I just want you to be in a position where you can get as much free money as you possibly can, right? Regardless of what happens. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Have a safe and a blessed week and holiday. And most of all, please be safe. Be safe this weekend. Look out for yourself. Look out for your neighbors. And God bless you. Bye-bye.